Hi everybody, thanks for pressing play on the video today. It's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.com. If you watched my video on Friday, you will have seen me show you how to make these very cute little Christmas stocking pillow boxes. Very, very cute. I put a link below if you haven't seen that video. But I just wanted to show you today that you can use the die to make just regular pillow boxes, just like this one. And it's an excuse also for me to show you some of the gorgeous new Halloween products that are coming in the new catalogue, which launches on Friday. That's Friday the 1st of September. Very exciting. Halloween's not something I've really done before. But we have already been invited to, well, the children have already been invited to a Halloween party actually. So I thought it would be nice for the first time to make some little Halloween treat boxes. So this is what I came up with. So we are using the Spooky Night Designer Series paper. This one has gorgeous little potion bottles on. And inside, you can see the other pattern isn't particularly Halloweeny. So I thought we would make another one using a different pattern from that same DSP pack. This one has gorgeous little witches hats on. And what I've done is I've gone straight ahead. So I'm using the Trim Your Stocking Thinlits. And I'm using this one die, which we used on Friday. And all I've done is run that through the Big Shot twice and cut out 2 of those. Now, because we're making a pillow box, we don't need this little tab. And on this one, I actually saved some paper by cutting it off. So I put the die on like that, and the paper ended there. So I saved like a little inch or so of paper when I did that one. So the first thing we're going to do is cut off that tongue. So we're just going to follow the curve of the box, and there is actually a little score line there to help us. So just going to follow along the score line and cut that off. There we go. And follow along the score line here. And cut that off again. There we go. Okay, and then on one of them, what you can see down the side, the die has also put a score line down either side here, and on one of them we are going to cut those tabs off as well, just on one. So cut the tongue flap, I'm going to call it, off both, and the side flaps just off one. Okay. And then on the other one that you haven't cut off, we are going to fold and burnish along those score lines. Okay. Whoa. Catch the camera. There we go. Right. I'm going to fold in along the score lines at the top. You see, there's a score line there, which gives you that nice pillow box curve. And same on the other side, you can see the score line there. Hopefully you can. Can you see it? Hopefully you can. Just starts here. Yeah. I'm just going to gently fold along those. And if you start to push, the paper really nicely just follows that score line. I'm going to do exactly the same on here. So I'm just going to push down. I just find that if you push over in the middle, then you can easily follow the score line out to the end. Flip it round. Push that down. There we go. Just take a second to make sure you get that. That hasn't quite, there we go. That we are following the score line and not going off at an angle. There we go, okay. And then we are going to, just like we did on Friday, we're going to take some Tombow and we can take another different Tombow. Nothing's coming out of that one. And we're just going to put some Tombow. Now lots is coming out of this one. Can't win. And just make sure you get right into the corners on one side. And then Tombow along the length, like that. Then flatten the edges down again, fold this over, and then we're just going to line these up on top of each other on one end, just like that. Okay, there we go. Just line those up and you've made one hinge. Okay, I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. As I said, make sure you're a bit careful getting glue right to the edges, because that needs to stick so it doesn't gape open. And then again, just close that down and give that a second to dry. And we're just going to leave that to dry before we puff it up. So while that is drying, we are going to do our decoration, and we're going to use the Coordinating Spooky Cat stamp set, which is here. And we're going to use this stamp here, and we're going to say Happy Halloween. Now this cat, you may have seen, he does have an absolutely gorgeous matching punch. Flip him over that way, you can see you can punch it out perfectly. And look at those cute little eyes. I'm going to be showing you this a lot. I really like this little cat. And I'm not a cat person, which is interesting. But we are not going to use that today. I thought we would use this one, and then I can show you a different punch. So I have here some scrap, very vanilla cardstock, because the paper is very vanilla. And I've already mounted up my cat, my stamp, and some basic black ink has been put away. I'll grab that out. So let's ink that up. There we go. Cute little spider web. And would you believe it, I don't actually have any pumpkin pie ink. I'm not an orange person, and pumpkin pie ink has just never made it onto my shopping list. So I'm going to use the Stampin' Up marker in pumpkin pie. The great thing about buying the markers is it means you do have every colour. So when you're Halloween crafting and all of a sudden you realise you don't have any orange ink, you can pull out your marker, just stroke that over the stamp, like that. Okay, I'm going to give it a quick huff with my breath. We'll just dampen that down, and then I'm going to stamp that, something like that, in the middle. Happy Halloween! Perfect. The lid back on my marker, and then I'm going to punch this out using, this is the Everyday Label Punch, which is new from in the new catalogue. Everyday Label Punch, very good sized label punch. Coordinates it with quite a few stamp sets in the new catalogue, this obviously being one of them. But it is bundled with a different stamp set. So I've punched that out. I'm also going to grab a piece of pumpkin pie cardstock, and I'm going to punch out, oh, didn't do that on camera for some reason. I'm going to punch out another blank in pumpkin pie, and then I'm just going to cut that in half. Going to put a little bit of Tombow on that side, and then just going to line it up like that. And take this one, fold that over, and there we have it. See how that has put a nice little border by cutting that label in half. So we just pop that down, and then I'm just going to puff up my pillow box, and then all that's left to do is push in those two edges, the top bits even, just like that, and you can see that makes that beautiful pillow box shape for us. And you could, if you wanted, obviously glue one of the edges down. How beautiful is that? I love it. Witch's hats, actually. So there is our pillow box. All we need to do is decorate it. For this one, I used the glittery ribbon in basic black. Can you see this ribbon's got a really nice little sparkle to it? Thought that looked really nice, but I like this ribbon a lot, and this was the last bit I had of it, which isn't great. But it does mean I can show you a gorgeous new ribbon. This is the vintage crochet trim. Let me show you it. This is new in the catalogue from Friday. Nice, isn't it? Very pretty. I think it goes well with the witch's hats, actually. And I'm just going to wrap that around my box. I think I'm going to go around twice. Yeah, let's do twice. And then we're just going to tie that off in a flat knot at the top. If you don't already know, I am doing a ribbon share of the new holiday catalogue, so I put a link to that below if you're interested in getting a meter of all of the brand new ribbon that are going to feature in that catalogue. Very good price, £7 including UK postage. So I put a link below if you're interested in that. But now let's just cut those off. There we go, it's very pretty, isn't it? And then all we need to do is grab a few dimensionals, 2, and stick that down either side of a ribbon in the centre of a box. And there we go, 2 very cute little pillow boxes using that simple die, not just for Christmas. You can make all manner of pillow boxes from it. Thanks for watching. Remember, if there's anything I can do to help, do not hesitate to get in touch, and I will be back very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.